Hello, hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Karina, good morning. You're early.
Always.
Always. I know your phrase, always.
Yes.
Yeah, I see a lot of light.
Yes.
Sun is sunshine. I mean, the sun is shining.
Mm.
There was a nice sunshine there. Hello, who did? I think who did is coming. America. Who else? Great. Everybody on time. Yes, 9 o'clock. That's good. All right, let's wait for the others. I have some stuff to tell you first. I have some news to tell you first. Um, well, we have only waiting for who did? That's Estrella. Who's Estrella? Is she Estrella? Creo
Her
que
daughter,
she is her daughter, right?
yes.
Salud. Hello, America. Good morning.
Good morning, teacher. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
All right. Miss Judith, can you hear me? Buongiorno, signorina. Judith, hello. All right. Last day. Well, first, thank you for being here. Today it's Saturday, um, April 17, 2021. We are studying Touchstone 4. We have some like small how we say, look at the beginning of the first unit. Judith, good morning.
Good morning.
Despierta. Do you have your coffee?
Yes,
All right.
I
Great.
preparing. I am preparing the coffee.
You are making coffee?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, just give me 1 second. There are more people coming in. I have Patty, and we have a new student today. So remember, we were just how many were we when we start, Karina? 2003. We were 5 or 6. You were 5, 6.
What?
How many were you when we start 2003? Um, what was the name of this girl?
Sochi?
No,
Marla?
no.
Who?
The girl, the young girl who was always like
Pati?
posing. No.
Oh my God.
I forgot her name.
Aide.
Aide,
Ah,
yes. She was always posing and feeling beautiful. All right, first we have Luis Sarco here. He's a new student for Touchstone 4. Welcome, Luis. Can you please, would you please introduce yourself to the rest of your classmates? Can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, would you please introduce yourself to the rest of the classmates?
Yes. My name is Luis. I'm 24 years old, and I don't know. I like to play football, and mm,
That's your hobby? Soccer?
yes,
All right. Where are you from?
I'm Acapulco. I'm living. Mosimba.
You're from Acapulco. Ah, Mosimba. Okay, nice. Have you studied English before, or were you taking any of the classes with English access before?
Yes.
Oh, great.
And 6 months ago, I took an English classes.
All right. From since months. Well, welcome. Please, we have a nice group every Saturday. All right, I have somebody else, Sandoval Rivera Arturo. I don't know who that is. Oh, well, I have Gabriel also joining in. We're waiting for Julio and for Marla. So I was telling Karin, I was telling everybody that we have 6 students at the beginning. Now we are 10 people, 10 students. And that's great. I just want to congratulate you because it's Touchstone 4. And the last level, well, we have viewpoint 1 and viewpoint 6, but those are optional. If you want to continue to take the B2 level, because this is B1, remember? But it's not, this Touchstone 4 is very similar to Touchstone 3, just like a review of the 3 units, 3 books. And we have here, well, Areli is here too. Welcome, Areli. Good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
Patty, good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
Gabriel, good morning, signore. Gabriel no tiene micrófono, chico. We have Arturo.
Good morning, teacher.
Arturo is in the house. Good morning. All right, Arturo, please, can you introduce yourself to the rest of the students? Whatever you want to say, your name, where you're from, etc.
My name is Arturo Nova Rivera. I'm from Acapulco. I have 12 years old, and that.
All right, you are 12 years old?
Yes.
Yes?
Not.
You are, remember, you are 12 years old. No, I have. It's one of the basic, yeah, one of the basics when you learn English. I am 20 years old. I am 12 years old. Well, I'm not 12, right? I wish I could be 12 now, but no. All right. Well, Gabriel nunca me contestó. Anyway, let's continue. Rosicela, we have a new student too. She's coming from one of my groups. Rosicela, good morning. Please introduce yourself to the rest of the students, to your classmates.
Hello, teacher. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rosa Isela. I'm an English teacher in the elementary school. I live in Tasco. I really love the English language, and I hope to learn more every day. And I hope to be a good classmate for you.
Great, awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Rosicela, Luis, Arturo, the new students, everybody. Let's continue. Can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Students book, okay. So last time we were doing, we were reviewing unit 1. I don't know, you had a chance to check your book. It's a good book. And I presented to you some of the learning outcomes, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation, right? That's what we will be doing in every unit. For those who doesn't know me, for those who don't are not familiar with me, Luis Arturo, if you have a question, so you don't understand any of the words or vocabulary, or you think I speak too fast or too slow or whatever, please just raise your hand and let me know. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Let's see. Well, I was working on these PowerPoint slides. It's like a how do you say summary of the first lesson. Remember to use hold on. At the beginning of the book you have this, right? Please try to take a look and use that vocabulary to expand your vocabulary. This is the language notes about the whole unit. The grammar. We're going to review the simple and continuous verbs. So that's something we're doing today. Well, we started last week. Simple and continuous forms of the present tense, the present perfect, and the past tense form. So we have here the information, like where you can find it. We have seen this in the past books, like level 1, level 2. You have here the information, what units, in case you need to review. Also the present perfect, level 3, we saw that, and level 3, unit 2, it was one of the first. Present continue as well. Unit 3 on level 2, past continue, present perfect continue. So you should know all these tenses so far. Why? Because you have seen them and you have worked with them in the last levels, right? I hope you do. I hope you do, and it's easy, right? All right. We have this in the first lesson, all the tenses, all tenses. Please, if you have a chance, check your book. You have interesting information, important information you have to know. All right, guys, how are you with tenses? ¿Cómo están con los tiempos? Do you think you're good? Karina, Patty? Everybody? Kind of? So? Rosicela, how are you with tenses? Are you okay?
More or less.
Judith says more or less. Okay.
Sorry, teacher. I need a pencil.
All right. America, are you okay with tenses now? Well, everybody has to improve, right? Needs to improve.
Yes, I think that I need improve the tenses.
Yes, we have to, like in the first lesson, we saw this first lesson last week, but we are going to review it again because we have more people, more students. And today is about unit 1 and unit 2, right? We have to finish those today. So this is like the introduction of Touchstone 4. So please don't feel comfortable with this level. It's not that difficult. It's just about the same. Remember, it's just a review of all the levels, 1, 2, and 3. So you need to apply what you learn in this level. Okay, we start checking these interesting lives. This is the unit. And we start reading lesson A, lesson B, and lesson C and lesson D, right? Okay, let me see with the rest of the people the reading part. Luis, will you please read this part, lesson A?
Yes. Lesson 8. Get to know your classmates using simple and continuous verbs.
Yes, Arturo, lesson B, please.
Tell your life story using verbs followed by verb plus ing or to plus verb.
All right, Rosicela,
Lesson C, highlight key moments in a story with the present tense. Use this and this to highlight information.
Good, thank you. Areli, lesson D.
Lesson D. Read an article about a person who overcame an obstacle. Write an anecdote about facing a challenge.
Yes, good, great, thank you. Challenge, challenge, challenge. Great, you're not, you're okay. And we were discussing with the group about these questions, right? In what way are these people lives interesting? Do you know anyone who does things like this? Do you know any interesting people? Why are they interesting? So this is general about the unit, right? So we see some pictures here. Like this lady, number 1. What do you think she's doing here? Even though it looks like a,
She is astronaut, or no?
she's an astronaut?
Yeah, I think she's studying astronomy, the stars.
Right. Who did? Ya te veo con eso del astronauta ahí en la luna. No, she's using a telescope.
Someday.
Watching. Yeah, someday. Remember, the first one in the space was someone from Guerrero, so. I think it's from Touchstone. No, Iguala, right, Rosa Isela?
No, I live in Tasco.
No, the guy who went to the space, Neri, Vela.
It's from Acapulco, I think. It's from
Is
Acapulco.
Mary Bella is
Or from Iguala.
de, ¿cómo se llama? Zumpango del Río.
Zumpango del Río. Oh, okay. I didn't know
Eduardo
that.
Neri.
Yes, I just
El
know he's from
municipio
Guerrero.
Por eso le pusieron el nombre del municipio de Eduardo Neri.
Ah, okay, interesting. Mira, ya ves, Judith. What about picture number 2, Luis or Arturo?
He's from Chilpancingo.
That's what I know. He's from Chilpancingo.
She's an engineer. She's an engineer.
Yeah, the picture looks like she's an engineer and she's working, right? With some plans. Or maybe an architect.
But
maybe.
she's wearing a helmet and probably
Yes.
she's an engineer.
Engineer? Yeah, you think so? Maybe. What do you see, Luis or Arturo? Number 3, can you describe this picture?
I don't know. It's a guy fighting.
The guy is flying. Do you know the name of this sport? Anybody
No.
knows?
No, teacher.
Do you remember, Karina or Patty? We saw that. We say that last time.
Hang gliding.
Hang gliding. Yes.
I'm like,
You say that in Spanish. How do you say? Es un planeador, ¿correcto? Is hang, comes from the verb hang, right? Gliding. It's a sport.
I'm like,
It's a kind of a sport. And number 3, what do you see here? This guy. Julio, you're here, Julio. Good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
He is working the glass. No.
no. He's a blacksmith. Blacksmith?
It could be. Maybe it's glass or it's iron, right? But it looks more like glass.
Like glass?
Yes. All right. In what way are these people's lives interesting? Can anybody tell me? In what way? Why? What's the reason why they have interesting lives?
Probably because they practice or they do things that we love.
Maybe, yes. Because they do something different, right?
Yes.
I mean, something that not everybody does. Well, maybe. Some people do that. Karina, what do you think? What do you think is the reason why these people's lives are interesting?
Because he nowadays loves their jobs.
Because they love
Their jobs.
their jobs, right? Maybe that's the reason, right? Luis, would you give me another reason why do you think some people's lives are interesting? I mean, let's say you meet someone at school or somewhere, maybe at the park, at the mall, or at the beach, or whatever. What do you think? Why do you come to the conclusion that that people's life is interesting?
I think that because they have an interesting job and that's cool.
Yeah, maybe an interesting job, right? Julio, Mr. Julio, where are you?
Yeah.
Okay, give me your opinion. When you meet someone, why do you think someone is interesting or has an interesting life?
Um, the second job for me is interesting because how do you say dibujar?
To draw.
To draw the houses is very difficult and it's very cool.
Yes. Well, yes, it is. But the question, remember the question, pay attention to the question. If you meet someone, if you meet someone somewhere or anywhere, uh, you start talking to that person, right? And when you have that conversation, then you have the conclusion that person's life is interesting. Why? What should it be the reason?
Because if you fly, you can admire the landscapes, and it's very dangerous, no? And you need a lot of, I don't know, adrenaline, no?
Adrenaline?
Adrenaline when you're flying, no?
Well,
Very dangerous sport.
Are you talking about number 3?
Number 3, yes, about the number 3.
Well,
Teacher,
yes.
teacher,
Yes.
teacher.
Yeah, aquí estoy.
Ask
Desesperada.
permission. Ask permission for 5 minutes. I am going to be absent for a few minutes. Please.
Yes, Judith, go ahead, please. Take your time, no worries. We will be here.
Probably number 2 and 3, teacher. They are creative persons.
Creatives, yes. Well,
Yes,
creative.
creatives. No.
Well, the question was something different. It's not related to the pictures. It's not related to the pictures. I was asking something different. So I was expecting you understand the question. I said, if you meet someone in the street or at the mall, the park, where anywhere, if you start talking to that person for the first time and you have information that might be relevant, and you say, well, that this guy is interesting, has an interesting life. Why? What's the reason? Forget about the pictures now.
Because you can learn about different things or things that you didn't do.
Maybe.
You don't do.
Yes.
Usually we don't use a telescope and we didn't know a lot of things of the stars, of the planets, no, of the universe.
Yeah, well, when you have an interesting life, maybe it doesn't have to do anything with these things, right? Like
Yes.
astronomy. Well, I would say that's why I want you to give me your opinion. I say when someone, for example, I meet someone and we start talking, like Luis said, about his or her job, right? Oh, I work for a TV company. I work for a winery company. I travel a lot around the world. Something that is interesting for you, right? Because
Maybe
you
because you
consider,
like it.
yeah, it's when something likes you, you say, well, he's interesting or she's interesting.
Or I want to prove this or to try this, no?
Yes. All right. Patty, what do you think, Patty?
It's interesting to see the people who does the hobbies who are like a talent.
Yes. Well, that's true. When you have a talent, maybe your hobby is a talent, right? Well, I always say that trying not to be humble, like one of my talents or my hobbies was dancing. Well, I still dancing, but I don't dance anymore as before. But sometimes it's like that. Anyway, let's continue. We start with interviews. We start talking about the student of the month. Remember? Nalida Cortez. And the question here is, if you can recognize the tenses. Okay. First tense, how long have you been living here? And we asking one by one, okay? You can recognize it. So don't worry. America, do you recognize this tense?
Yeah, present continuous.
You're close, but no.
Me. Present perfect.
No. Well, let me see first.
Have you been?
America?
Yes.
So you said it's present continue, right? Karina,
Yes, teacher.
what tense is the first question? How long have you been living here?
Present continuous.
Say it again.
Present continuous.
No.
Present perfect.
No. No, está adivinando.
Oh,
You're guessing.
Present perfect continuous.
Si no es channel, Juana, o sea.
Obi.
Oh, baby, blanco negro. Yeah, it's present perfect continuous. You have present perfect here and
Ya
continuous.
ver, era una mezcla de ambas. Era su hijo.
Right, yes, una mezcla. Like I've been living in Mexico City for 5 years. I came here to go to school originally. It's a great place to live. So as you see in the same sentences, you have different tenses. Like I've been living in Mexico City for 5 years. Present perfect continuous. I came here to go to school originally. What tense is that?
Past.
Past tense. Okay. Luis, it's a great place to live. What tense is that?
Present.
It's a great place to live. What tense is that?
Present. I don't know, teacher.
Yes, it's present tense. All right, second one. Have you ever lived in another country? America? What tense is that?
Present perfect.
Present perfect, yes. And then if you read, no, I haven't, but my brother has. He's been living in Bogota, Colombia for almost a year now. I'm going to visit him later this year. So you see the different tenses, then we continue with the next questions. What kind of music are you listening to currently, etc.
Continuous.
Then you had more. What's your favorite way of spending an evening? What do you do? Saying the rest of the sentences or the answers, you have different tenses. But the most important is that you recognize what tense we are talking about. For example, let's pick one. Last one. Let me ask, let's see, Arturo. Last sentence, what were you doing at this time yesterday? Arturo, are you there?
Yes,
What tense is that? Is this, what were you doing at this time yesterday?
I was sitting on bus. We were stuck in traffic for an hour.
Yeah, well, tell me, what tense is, what were you doing at this time yesterday? What tense is that? Simple present, simple past, future. Present continuous.
Past participle.
What tense? Say it
Past
again.
participle. Past participle.
Simple past principle?
Past participle.
No. This one. What were you doing at this time of the year? What were you doing at this time of the year? You see, were doing.
Past continuous.
Luis,
Past continuous, teacher.
yes. But Rosicela, please just try
Yes,
to
sorry.
wait for the one who needs to answer, please.
Yes, teacher, sorry.
It's okay. All right, so this is the first part. We saw this last time, student of the month. So we have different tenses here, right? Okay, please pay attention and listen.
Touchstone Students Book, Level 4, Page 2, Unit 1, Interesting Lives. Lesson A, Interviews. 1. Getting started. B. Listen and read. Do you have anything in common with Melita? Tell a partner. English Department News. Student of the Month, Melita Cortez. You should really get to know Melita Cortez, a graduate student in our English department. Also a talented artist, she spends her free time painting, and she started a sculpture class last month. She hopes one day to have an exhibition of her work. How long have you been living here?
I've been living in Mexico City for 5 years. I came here to go to school originally. It's a great place to live.
Have you ever lived in another country?
No, I haven't. But my brother has. He's been living in Bogota, Colombia for almost a year now. I'm going to visit him later this year.
What kind of music are you listening to currently?
Well, of course I love Latin music. I'm listening to a lot of Latin jazz right now. I like to listen to music when I paint.
What's your favorite way of spending an evening? What do you do?
I like to go out with my friends. We go and eat someplace and then go dancing all night.
When did you last buy yourself a treat?
Last week, actually. I was at a friend's art studio and I fell in love with one of her paintings. So I bought it.
What did you do for your last birthday?
I went home and had a big party with my family.
What's the nicest thing anyone has ever done for you?
Actually, about 6 months ago, I was complaining to my dad that I didn't know how to drive. So he paid for some driving lessons. I was thrilled.
Who or what is the greatest love of your life?
Oh, chocolate. I can't get through the day without some.
What were you doing at this time yesterday?
I was sitting on a bus. We were stuck in traffic for an hour.
All right, you see the questions and you see the tenses. Hold on. Okay, don't listen to the bolillo lady. I mean, or guy, I don't know. Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Julio, are you there, Julio?
Yes, teacher.
All right, cool. All right, as you see, we have the questions here and we have the different tenses. I'm gonna ask you these questions, same questions, and I want you to answer me in the correct way, like the first one. How long have you been living here? I've been living in Acapulco for about 2 years. And then you can add more information to the sentence. Context, a context. The same with other ones. Have you ever lived in another country? No, I haven't. Oh, yes, I have. The same with the other questions. Remember to pay attention what tense we are using. This is just a practice for speaking. So let's try to be fast. Um, all right, let's see. Karina, how long have you been living here?
Well, I've been living in Acapulco for 20 years.
Yeah.
I came here to go to kindergarten originally. It's a great
Okay.
place to live.
All right. Julio, have you ever lived in another country?
Um, no, I haven't.
Okay. Try to express more, to say more.
No, I haven't lived in other country, only in Acapulco.
Okay. Short answer, remember, no, I haven't. Period. I have only lived in Acapulco. Remember, most information you can give it's quite good for your speaking, for practice, right? Judith, are you there, Judith? Well, she said a few minutes, not a few hours. She might be cooking or something. Luis, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
All right, what kind of music are you listening to currently?
Mm, I think pop music is my favorite kind of music.
Pop music?
Yes.
So that's what you're listening to currently. Remember, currently, like in the present.
Well, the same.
You're saying you're listening to pop music? Great. Areli, what's your favorite way of spending an evening? What do you do?
I was in my house.
Remember the tense. What's your favorite way of spending an evening? What do you do?
I do my homework, my exercise every evening.
All right. So that's your favorite way of spending an evening?
And do exercise.
Exercising? All right.
Yeah.
Rosicela, when did you last buy yourself a treat? Rosicela?
Yes, sorry. 3 days ago, actually, I bought some clothes for me,
Yeah, nice.
some new clothes.
Okay, you treat yourself. Yeah, we should do that sometimes, right? Once in a while, because we are always like, working and working and working and responsibilities and house chores and blah, 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 blah. So once in
Yes.
a while is good, you know, you feel good, like something for yourself. I mean, you
Yeah.
deserve it. Let's
Yes.
see. Thank you, Rosicela. Patty, what did you do for your last birthday?
Um, I stay at home and ate with my family and was great.
Nice. Do you have a cake?
Yes, because when like two cakes for me and Gabby.
They are you guys from the same day?
Yes,
Ah, really?
yes.
Nice, nice. Let's see. Gabriel, are you there? You're quiet.
Yes.
As usual, you see? Okay, Gabriel, what's the nicest thing anyone has ever done for you? Pay attention to the question, and we are this sentence, see the tense. What's the nicest thing anyone has ever done for you? Gabriel? Hello? Do you understand the question? Yes? No? Maybe?
I
Gabriel?
have my dog. My mom gives me.
Okay, continue. Gabriel? Yes, you understand the question, right? What's the nicest thing anyone has ever done for you? This Melida, Melida Cortez, he says, actually about 6 months ago, I was complaining to my dad that I didn't know how to drive. So he paid for some driving lessons. I was thrilled. Yes, Gabriel? Okay, we don't want tortillas right now. Maybe later. Thank you. Tortillas, bolillos. Okay. Gabriel, Mr. Gabriel Samayoa. ¿Entiendes o no entiendes la pregunta? Dime así, honesto.
Maybe.
Maybe? Okay. Okay, what's your answer? What's the nicest thing anyone has ever done for you? Something nice, like maybe Patty or your mom or your dad or I don't know, somebody did for you. You know, like something nice, like give you a nice present, or maybe cook for you, or maybe do the laundry for you, or help you with the homework, with your homework. I don't know. You should have many ideas. Sometimes simple things are the nicest thing, right? Like someone takes her time or his time to visit you and to spend a few minutes with you and having a chat, just chatting about random stuff. And that's nice, right? Because right nowadays it's not that easy to find the time to go and visit a friend because we are always busy. Gabriel? Okay, Gabriel, you're gonna be on hold. You're gonna be on hold with this question. All right. Who else?
Teacher,
Yes.
teacher.
Yes.
Receive my little dog.
You receive your what?
It's uh, receiving my little dog.
I'm sorry.
You receive your dog?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How old is your dog? How old is your dog? Like mine, you have seen my WhatsApp stories. I have a little baby here with me. He's sleeping.
Yeah,
He's 2 months. How old is yours?
2 years,
2 years? Yeah, I can see that.
almost two
I can
years.
see that picture. It's a Chihuahua?
Mm,
No, right? It's not a Chihuahua. All right, let's continue. Thank you, Gabriel. I'm just trying to see your skills on speaking and if you understand the tense. All right, let's see. Arturo? Did I ask you, Arturo? Not yet, right?
No.
Okay, who or what is the greatest love of your life?
Can you repeat this, please?
Yes, who or what is the greatest love of your life?
What's mean low? No.
The greatest love of your life. Who or what?
I think a profit that I win in swimming competition.
In swimming competition? What do you mean? Okay, the question is who or what is the greatest love of your life? Who or what? Like this lady, Melida says, oh, chocolate. I can get through the day without some. So it's what, right? But if you can talk a person, my mom is the greatest love of my life. My mom. So that's who, right? Or what? Or maybe my dog or my puppy or my son, my daughter.
My mom, because he's very friendly, happy, and she doing a lot of things to me.
She has done.
She has done.
She has done, present perfect. She has done a lot of things for me, not to me. All right, last one. Let's see. Marla, are you there, Marla? No, Marla is not here. Let's see. Who's missing?
Me.
America.
Yes.
I haven't asked you yet.
No yet.
Oh, wait, you answered some of the first questions. What were you doing at this time yesterday? Yesterday was Friday. What were you doing at this time?
Okay, I was riding my bicycle.
Oh,
I
nice.
work. I work.
I
Visit
was
my granny.
I was visiting. Remember the tense? Like you say, I was riding my bicycle. That's perfect. What else?
I were. I went visit my granny.
Okay, now that you say I went visit, that's our topic today. Let's see. Well, so it's good that you make, in some way it's good that you make that mistake, because that's what we are talking about today. Remember, let me put the right information here. Today is Saturday. Dominguito Alegre. Ah, no, no, perdón, sábado. Sabadito Alegre. Saturday, April 17, 2021. Touchstone 4, Unit 1. And we are doing the first part, lesson A. After the break, we have lesson B, the usual. For the one who do, for those new students, well, maybe you know the rules, right? Because you have been taking classes before in English Access. So, like every Saturday, the class is from 9 to 1. We have a little break at 11, and the break is 25 minutes, right? So the class is over, or the class ends at 1, right? So we try to cover two lessons. Today we are going to try to finish lesson A and lesson B. Also, for some of you,
Teacher, your microphone is off or your sound no se escucha.
Teacher, we can hear you. We can hear you, teacher.
Hold on, please. Hold on.
It's good.
Estamos ya.
The computer, it's like acting up. Maybe the microphone, maybe the speakers, or anyway, I was talking like crazy. Yes. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, these are the points. Do you have any questions about this? Remember, the exams are every 3 units. So we have one after unit 3, and then we have one after unit 6, and etc. Yes? Questions? Rosicela, Luis, Arturo, Areli.
No, teacher, no questions.
All right. Remember, homework is very important. You do it every week. Your participation is very important to me. Remember, your participation, we have to take, of course, that's the speaking part, and that see that you understand the lesson or the topic. The same with your speaking skill, so it's good. But you see, the exam, the written exam and the oral is 60%, right? But try in this one, try to pay more attention on this one. Well, on both. On both. Those are very important. But remember, the oral is more like every Saturday. Like now, next Saturday, that's how I evaluate you. In conclusion, well, not in conclusion, we're doing today. All right, just give me 1 second. As I said before, we are doing when you use, that's a common mistake when you are learning English, when you use 2 verbs together, right? 2 verbs together. Like, for example, sometimes I say, like to eat, right? I start eating, start eating, no, let's change it. Let's change the verb. I start watching TV at 9 p.m. This is just an example. Could be any verb. What I mean is when you use 2 verbs, you have to separate these 2 verbs, right? Could be a preposition, like I like to eat, or I start watching. But never say like, we are going to see those verbs today. I like it, right? That's wrong. You have to make here, you need something here. You have to put to, or you have to use ing. So that's what I mean. Simple and continue. That's our learning objective today. Right? That's what we have to learn today. So the use of two verbs together. That's the point of this lesson, or this, sorry, this unit. And we have, of course, we have, like what I showed you before. Remember this? Simple and continuous verbs. We saw all these. We have to use to check the use. Simple form, continuous forms, some exercises too. For example, with some verbs, live and work, for example, there is a little difference in meaning between the simple and continuous forms. How long have you lived here? Or how long have you been living here? It's just a little difference. Where do you work? Simple present, right? Or where are you working? We express the same. Doesn't mean that where are you working is something that is not happening now, but it's something that is currently. Some verbs like know, like, love, understand are not normally used in the continuous. Do you know him? Not are you knowing him? Right? This is present tense, the same. So the lesson, the unit goes to all those tenses. Let's continue with the book, please. All right, we have this exercise. We did this exercise, listen and read. That was the last part about Melita Cortez. Right? We have just the questions. We have the exercise C. Choose the best verb form to complete the questions. Use interview about to help you. Then ask and answer the questions with a partner. For example, number 1, what book do you read or are you reading currently? Okay, which one? Pick one.
Are you
The correct
reading?
one. Yes, are you reading currently? Number 2, what did you do or were you doing for your last birthday?
What did you do?
Who did?
I go back.
Hmm?
I got back.
The tense. We are working on tenses, remember. We have to recognize the tenses according to the sentence or the context of the sentence. So someone say, what did you do for your last birthday, right? It's past, simple past. Great. Number 3, have you ever been living, have you lived in the United States?
Been living.
Have you ever been living in the United States?
Have you ever been living?
Living,
Do you think so?
yes.
Live.
Okay, that's why who it says, have you ever been living in the United States? Or have you ever lived in the United States?
Have you
Have
ever
you ever
lived in the
lived?
United
Have you
States?
ever lived in the United States?
Yes. Have you ever lived in the United States?
Ah,
It's
well,
second who did, yes.
okay.
Yes, I have. No, I haven't.
Uh-huh.
I used to live in
Have
Chicago.
you ever lived in the United States?
Yes. That's like a test for you to recognize the tenses. Remember what I told you at the beginning. This is like review. It is like a review of the three levels, 1, 2, and 3. So you know what I mean is that you know all of them. You have just to remember. Then we have the grammar chart.
No!
Eh? Okay, hold on. Yes. All right. In the grammar chart, we have simple and continuous verbs, right? We are going to listen. We are going to listen the audio, and then we are going to discuss it or to review it. So that's page. I think it's page 3. Yes, it's page 3. As you see, these are short lessons. These are not like lessons from Touchstone 1, 2, and 3. These are like shorter. This is more like about speaking, practice, and some little grammar. Okay, just pay attention to the grammar chart here.
Page 3. 2. Grammar. Simple and continuous verbs. Review. Simple verbs are for completed actions or permanent situations. Present. What kind of music do you listen to?
I love Latin music. I listen to it a lot.
Present perfect. Have you ever lived in another country?
No, I've never lived anywhere else.
Past. What did you do for your last birthday?
I went home and had a big party.
Continuous verbs are for ongoing actions or temporary situations. Present. What kind of music are you listening to currently?
I'm listening to a lot of Latin jazz right now.
Present perfect. How long have you been living here?
I've been living here for 5 years.
Past. What were you doing at this time yesterday?
I was sitting on a bus.
Okay, okie dokie. You see the different tenses, and you see also the answers. It's very important you check the answers, like the present. If you are asked in present tense, you have to follow the rule of how to answer in present tense. Like, what kind of music do you listen to? I love, remember, first subject, I love Latin music. I listen to it a lot. Present perfect. Have you ever lived in another country? No, I have never lived anywhere else. Yes, Rosicela.
Yes, teacher. What's mean ongoing? Ongoing. Continuous verbs
That
are
is,
for
yes, that is happening.
Happening. Okay,
Yes.
thank you, teacher.
All right. Past, simple past. What did you do for your last birthday? I, subject, went home and had a big party. You see, the two verbs are in past tense. Next one. What kind of music are you listening to currently? Answer. I'm listening to a lot of Latin pop right now. Like the one I asked Luis or Arturo, I don't remember. I am listening to a lot of Latin pop right now. I mean, you have to say the correct form. I mean, it's okay when you say, okay, what kind of music are you listening to currently? Pop music. That's it. But that's for when you are speaking, you're having a conversation and it's very informal. Remember, we are taking lessons, we are learning, we are in a school, so you have to use the correct way. How long have you been living here? How long have you been living here? Same, you need practice as well as the grammar. We are learning grammar in this part. When you have to say in one sound, you have to say the same question, like, how long have you been living here? You see, you don't stop. How long have you been living here? Oh, I've been living here for 5 years. That's how you become fluent. So what you have to do, you need to practice, you need to talk, you need to speak. Last one, what were you doing at this time yesterday? Like the question I asked America, what were you doing at this time yesterday? I was sitting on a bus. Why? Because I asked you with a simple, with past continuous. Past continuous, you have to respond with past continuous. If I ask you with the present perfect continuous, you have to answer in the same way. Yes?
Yes, teacher.
Questions? Do you understand the grammar part, the grammar chart?
Yes.
Who did? Do you have any issues or problems with tenses? Who did? Hello. Sí, ya te vi. Hola. Hi.
Your microphone, it's turning off.
No quiero hacer la señal del micrófono porque se ve muy feo.
I am back.
You're back? I was asking you, who did, do you have any problems or issues with tenses?
No.
No?
No problem.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
I am understand.
Okay, yes, I am, yes.
Yeah, I am.
America, you're good with tenses?
Yes, teacher. It's
Not
more
trouble?
clear.
It's clearer?
Yes.
Luis, are you okay with tenses?
Yes, teacher.
All right. Areli, are you okay? Are you good with tenses? Do you know how to use all of them? Do you recognize all of them? Aurelie?
Yes, teacher, that's okay.
All right. Remember, if you have any questions, if you have any doubt, you need to ask. All right. No se queden con la duda. Don't, please, you just say it. The only way to learn is making mistakes. If you don't know something, that's okay. We are not perfect. We have to learn, we are learning, right? And remember, this is Touchstone 4, level 4. So it's, the level is a little bit different, but you need to understand everything what I said to you. And you should know most of the grammar in English. Must. We have checked everything like this one, the tenses, the passive voice. Well, I haven't worked with you with if conditional, maybe later. Karina, what about you? Are you okay with tenses?
So
So?
because
Why?
I read the exercise 8. I don't know um, the difference on the continuous verbs and simple verbs.
Continuous verb, remember, when the name continuous is when something is ongoing, something is happening. It could be past, present, or present perfect. Well, no, especially present continuous, right? Is when something is happening at the moment. When we use continuous, we always use be verb and ing. Always. Be verb, verb to be, and ing when we mention continuous, right? Present, perfect tenses could be present, past, future, etc. When we mention perfect, is because you use have as an auxiliary and then the past participle. I have worked. I have eaten. I have done. I had been doing. I had been working. Remember, always when you use have and the past participle is perfect tense. Would be past perfect, continue also, present perfect continue, etc. All right.
Okay, thank you.
But you need to review all the tenses, Karina. If you are not sure, you need to check them out. It's very important at this level that you recognize all of them. Yes?
Yes.
Um, Patty, how about you? Do you have any trouble or issues with tenses?
No, all is okay.
Okay, perfect. Say, if you have any issues with some of the tenses, just practice and take a look at that. Like you say, okay, I have problems with present perfect or present perfect continuous. Well, it's not that easy. Just when you hear or when you listen to someone speaking to you, like right now, if the question is in, let's say, present perfect continuous, what have you been doing? I have been working a lot. I've been busy, have been, like, try to respond with the same tense. Who did say okay? Rosicela, you're okay with tenses?
Yes, teacher.
All
Yes,
right.
thank you.
Gabriel, Mr. Gabriel Samayoa, where are you? You're quiet. Ya hasta me acabé el café. Not for the next one. Mi cafecito de atoyac. Gabriel, asómate a la ventana. Where are you?
Yes.
Are you okay with the tenses?
Yes.
Recuerden, no digan yes si no están seguros, ¿ok? Remember, in this level, we are going to try not to speak too much Spanish like before. So the point is that you understand what I say. Julio, how about you? You're good?
Yes, teacher. Good.
All right. Sandoval, Arturo, I guess it's Arturo. It says Sandoval.
Yes, teacher, I'm okay.
Are you okay with tenses, right? You're okay with tenses. Luis, tutto bene? Are you okay?
Yes, teacher, I am.
All right. Please just be sure when you say yes, okay? Remember, we are a team, so we have to help each other. We are learning. Common errors. Use the simple past for completed events, not the past continuous. My birthday was great. My friends came to visit. Simple past. Not my friends were coming to visit. That's wrong. That's a mistake. All right, you have some. You have this exercise. Complete the conversations. You have some spaces here. You have some verbs, and you need to put the tense. Like use the simple or continuous form, the verb in the present, present perfect, or past. You have all of them. Sometimes more than one answer is possible. Then practice. Okay. So you have a question from 1 to 5. So you're gonna be working on teams. And please help each other with some questions or whatever you need. So I'm gonna put you into teams. Try not to speak Spanish. Please, 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 please. El que hable español le saca una tarjeta roja. No, primero amarilla, ¿verdad? Y luego viene la roja. Son 3 amarillas y luego viene la roja. O si no va a estar nominado, como en Big Brother. Let's see, we have 10 people. Yes. Okay. All right, let's go. Go to your rooms, please, to your breakout rooms and practice with your partner and give me the answers. Check the tenses, pay attention, and then we have to practice it. So you need to read it, each other, for pronunciation.
A little pozole.
¿Pozole?
Que me quedó desde el jueves. Está recalentado.
Leftover. What did you eat, Karina?
Chilaquiles.
Chilaquiles. Yum, yum. I was about to make some chilaquiles, but it takes time. All right, who else is back? Patty, are you here? Patty? Not yet? America, are you here? Hello? America? Gabriel?
Hi.
Okay, you're back. Areli, you're here?
Yes, teacher.
All right, Patty is back too. All right, I was checking someone said on the chat, well, he or she, I don't know who is. I don't have that name registered. But anyway, someone said, choose a preposition after a modal. I just want to explain to you so you don't make the same mistake. I know maybe you don't. Maybe you do, I don't know. Every time you use a modal, never use to. Never. Like, I should. Well, remember, I is always with capital. I should. So Never do a modal with to. I must do it. I must go. I must eat. I must do my homework. You know, like, but never use to after a modal. Just to remind you that. Yes? Is that clear? Clear or not clear?
Clear.
All right. All right. Here on the chat, I have some numbers I don't recognize. That's 744-240-8816. Who's that? Who's that number? 744-240-8816. And I have 733-582-3073. Don't you know whose numbers are? No?
No,
Well, I don't
teacher.
have Areli registered here. I don't have Areli. What's your number, Areli? Your phone number?
My name is Iris Areli Castro Ramirez.
No, your phone number.
I don't know.
You don't have a phone number?
Número de teléfono.
Don't say
Yes.
it. You will be...
Sorry, teacher.
Excuse me.
Uh-huh.
733
Uh-huh.
5 8 2 3 0 7 3.
All right, cool. Okay, remember, you have to be faster. 733-582-3073. Like, you know, be more fluent. I have the other one, it's 744-240-8816. Is that you, Luis?
No, teacher.
No? Well, you should be in the chat group. But I don't have you. I need
No.
to check with the coordinator. Maybe they have it. I guess this is Arturo. Arturo is not here yet. All right, guys. What have you learned so far? That's a question I always make. What have you learned so far in these English classes? Have you been practicing? When was the last time that you practiced? All right, naranjas, yes. So those are questions about different tenses. So we finished this one.
Watermelons, watermelon.
Oh, watermelons. Okay. I want a couple. Speaking naturally, reductions in questions. Okay, this is the last part of lesson A. And we're going to practice these sentences. Pronunciation, remember, linking words, consonants and vowels, etc. Like the first one. Okay, let me see some volunteers here. Okay, first sentence. America, please, can you read the first sentence?
Okay. How long have you been learning English?
Yes. How long have you been learning English? Right?
How long have you been
Like
learning?
sound more natural. How long have you been learning English? How long have you been learning English?
How
Try to
long have you
practice it fast. Luis, can you read the second one?
been English?
Yes. What do you like to do in your English class?
Yes, good. Gabriel, next one.
Why are you learning English?
Great. All right. Julio,
What did you do in your last class?
yes. Same, different tenses. Have you been learning present perfect continuous? Then you have present, then you have present continuous, and then you have past, right? All the tenses. Okay, listen and repeat the questions. Notice the reductions of the auxiliary verbs have, do, are, did, and you. Notice the reduction, like short, sound. Then ask and answer the questions with a partner. That's what I asked you at the beginning. How long have you been learning English? So you need to practice, but you are going to listen first. You're going to listen to the audio first, and then you have to practice the pronunciation. Okay, we are on page, I think it's page 3.
Page 3. 3. Speaking naturally. Reductions in questions. A. Listen and repeat the questions. Notice the reductions of the auxiliary verbs have, do, are, did, and you. Then ask and answer the questions with a partner.
How long have you been learning English?
Why are you learning English?
What do you like to do in your English class?
What did you do in your last class?
All right, one more time, but you have to put your microphone on silence, please, so it sounds better. And after you listen to the sentence, you repeat it. One more time.
Page 3. 3. Speaking naturally. Reductions in questions. A. Listen and repeat the questions. Notice the reductions of the auxiliary verbs have, do, are, did, and you. Then ask and answer the questions with a partner.
How long have you been learning English?
Repeat, please.
Why are you learning English?
Why are you learning English?
Why are you
How long have you been learning?
English?
What do you like to do in your English class?
What do you lead?
What do you like to do in your
like
English
to do
class?
in your English class?
What did you do in your last class?
What did you do in your last class?
What do you like to do in your English class?
Okay, now repeat the questions. Put your microphones on silence and practice yourself. Read the sentences, practice. Once you have practice, you have to make this question to your partner and answer. Saying with the next one, and next one. You have 4 answers. You are going to do this exercise. All right. Once you have done this exercise, you need to practice also these questions from 1 to 3. What book are you reading currently? What do you do for your last birthday? So you need to answer. Ask and answer, and then you switch. You change roles. Remember, you have these 3 questions. I mean, you have four questions. So you need to practice pronunciation, and you need to practice also the way how you're going to respond according to the sentence. Yes, clear? So you have the first questions, and then you have 3. The 4 questions from page 3, and the 3 questions from page 2. Yes, all of them are the same, different tenses. So you need to practice questions and answers. Do not answer just like random. Check the tense. What have you been doing lately? I had been working a lot. You know, you have to follow the tense. Okay? Questions? Do you understand the exercise? Yes?
Question is only page 3 or page 3 and 2?
You have page 3, you have the speaking naturally, you have 4 questions, right?
Yes.
Then on page 2, you have 3 questions at the end. The one I just showed you.
Okay. Thank you
So
so
it's
much.
going to be 7 questions.
7 questions.
Yes.
3 questions.
7.
Eh? Question. You respect. Respond.
What?
Con
Okay,
su
here you go.
respectiva respuesta.
Answers.
Answer. 3.
Responses.
Okay.
Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 teams. All right, please practice. I'm gonna be watching you. Go to your rooms, please. All right, I think everybody is here. Let me double check. Yes. Okay, let me choose some people, random students. America, what are you learning English? Can you hear me, America? America,
Yes, teacher.
what are you learning English?
Yes.
I make the question, you answer. Remember the tense. Why are you learning English? Can you hear me?
I am learning. Yes, as the present continues.
Yes.
I am learning English about 1 month with you.
No, why?
Yeah.
Pay
Okay.
attention to the question. Why are you learning English?
One more time. I am learning English for improve my skills.
To improve your skills.
Yes.
Yeah, remember, I think I mentioned some of you like a few months ago when you use to improve, for example, or you said you use a preposition, never do this for improve. Whatever verb you use, this is wrong, okay? This
Okay.
one. You could say, you could use for, but you have to say improving. You see, to improve or for improving. Why? Because you have a preposition here. For improving my English. Not for improve. Okay?
Okay. Or another to improve, no?
To improve or for improving. Either one are okay. But for improve is wrong.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So let's continue. Just give me 1 second. Let me move my computer from here. It's getting tired. I don't know why. Well, it always happens. Luis, are you there, Luis?
Yes, teacher.
All right. What do you like to do in your English class?
In my English class, I like to play at different games.
To play games in your English class?
Yes, teacher. To make the class more dynamic.
Okay, dynamic. Okay, cool. Gabriel, how long have you been learning English? Gabriel, are you there? Hello? Knock, knock. Gabriel?
Yes,
How long have you been learning English?
I have been learning English here for 2 years.
All right. We usually we say for about 2 years or for almost a year, right? kind of. Um, Julio, what did you do in your last class?
Yes, teacher. I don't know. I don't remember. Only my classmate. Um, um, they give a exposition.
Okay.
It was very boring.
It was boring.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, sometimes you have to do it, even though you don't like it or not. Especially when it's what you say is boring. All right, let's continue. Patty, what book are you reading currently?
Um, I'm reading Divine Comedy currently.
Oh, Dante.
Yeah, that's
Dante.
difficult.
This great. Karina, what did you do for your last birthday?
Well, I went out with my friends. We we went to Mirador Hotel from Day Pass.
Oh, nice. Great. Excellent.
5 stars for
5 stars. Oh, just 5?
yes, it's very nice. Cheap. It's cheap.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Yes,
should go. I should
I
go
like it.
sometimes.
I enjoy this day.
All right, great. That's well. That's what birthdays. You should enjoy your birthday day, right? Your birthday celebration.
Also,
Judith, have you ever lived in the United States?
I was I was war in Acapulco. I I had living I had lived all living all life in Acapulco.
All right. Answer the question first. Have you ever lived in the United States?
United States. No,
Have you
I
ever
don't
lived in the United States?
I don't know.
No, I haven't.
I haven't.
No,
Never.
I haven't.
I don't have it never.
No, 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 no. Oh, no, no, I don't have it never. I have never lived in the United States.
I have never in United States.
I mean, if you use ever or never, you should know how to use them. I have never lived in the United States. And that's it. Nada más la pregunta, go directly to the questions. Have you ever lived in the United States?
I had no never in living in United States.
No, say it again. Correctamente. Correctly. Correctly.
Correctly? No.
Yes. Have you ever lived in the United States? You can say no, I haven't, or yes, I have.
No, I not haven't.
No, no, I not haven't. You're making double negatives.
I.
No, I haven't. Or yes, I have.
No, I haven't.
Yes, no, I haven't. That's it.
Okay.
Short answer. Remember, this is a yes or no question.
No.
Right?
Okay.
It's a yes or no questions. Have you ever lived in the United States? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. And then if you want, you can give extra information. I have been living in Acapulco all my life.
Yes.
So for everybody, try to make your sentence better. Remember, you cannot use two negatives in the same sentence. That's something that we should do. I don't know if it's in the book. I hope so. Many things in English like that using double negative. Sometimes you use, for example, you use make. You confuse. We confuse. I said we confuse because I do it too. Make and do, right? The same when you use prepositions. With prepositions, and you have a verb after the preposition, you need to use ing with the verb. So those are little details in the language that you have to check them out. I mean, try to that your English sounds excellent or as much as better as possible. Okay, so this has been or these exercises have been about those tenses. Okay, any questions about tenses? Please.
No, teacher.
No?
It's
No, okay.
confused.
What is confused?
The time when you use the answer.
No, because you have the tense in the question. If I am asking you, or like, pay attention to the question, Karina. You have the key in the question. What
Yes.
have you been doing lately? I had been working. I had been playing. I have been playing games. I have been visiting. Remember the keys on the question. La clave está en la pregunta.
Okay.
That's how you realize what tense you have to use. So you need to review, Karina, tenses, but it's not difficult.
Okay.
It's not it shouldn't be confusing.
Yes, I confuse.
You confuse.
Yes, always, teacher.
Yes, I know you confuse. You're always confused. All
That's the
right.
same. We need more practice now, teachers. That's all.
Yes, it's practice. Practice and pay attention to the tense on the questions. So you know, with that, you know the answer. This is a formal way to learn, but sometimes when we learn like, when you say, well, have you been doing lately? Playing games, that's it. Short answers. I mean, you don't have to use the whole, but
Oh,
we are taking lessons now. So you have to learn the formal way, the best way, and then is when you speak, when you are confident and you are in a English language environment, you can use them. It's okay.
Okay. Mm.
But we need to learn from the scratch. I mean, from the
Teacher,
beginning. Yes.
I have a question. In when we use the past perfect and have you been live? No, says when we answer in past, we put the verb in past too. No, I haven't lived.
Well, you said past perfect. This is
Yes,
past perfect.
Yes, in past perfect, we put the verb in past too. But in negative, no, I haven't lived, by example.
For example,
No,
give me a sample, a question with
okay,
past perfect.
is in the another question, they say, have you lived in United States? Have you lived in United States?
Uh-huh.
The negative is no, I haven't lived. No, I haven't lived. It's the same.
Well, if it's short answer is no, I haven't, and that's it.
That's all.
I haven't.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Okay, I don't need to write the verb
whole
again.
No, that's wrong. No, I haven't. Period. Punto. And then
Okay.
you can add extra information.
Ah, okay.
Like
Then if I put I haven't lived, it's wrong. It's a mistake.
wrong. No, I haven't.
Ah, okay. Thank you, teacher.
All right. Then, as I tell you, you can add extra information after the period.
Okay.
Like I had been living in Acapulco or Tasco for all my life. Like add extra information if you want.
But just after the period.
After the period, yes. No, I haven't. Just I have period.
Ah, okay. Thank you, teacher.
All right. Okay. What do you? Well, we are going to start lesson B. It's a long story. It's a long story. Do you know when you have to use this expression?
Yes.
All right.
When you don't tell about this or tell someone your story and your bad story.
Kind of. Any other one? Any other answer? Luis?
When you have to
Arturo?
sorry.
Any more ideas? Any more ideas in the meaning of this expression? It's a long story. When do we say that?
When you have to say a long explanation.
Yes. And you have to give details about what happened and this and that, etc. It's a long story. Tell me what happened. It's a long story. I mean, like you are not really moved to
How it
say.
started all?
Yeah, right.
How it started all?
Okay, let's start from the beginning. I was walking by the beach when something happened to me. And then a kid was approaching, blah, blah, blah. It's a long story, right?
Yes.
And then you are sleeping at the end. All right, remember this is the second lesson of the Touchstone 4. And we still continue with the same topic. Present perfect, simple present, all the tenses. So, but you'll see a difference with the other one, with the last lesson, I mean with lesson 8. The one I told you about when you have to separate two verbs, when you need to use the preposition to, and when you have to use the ing of the second verb. Building vocabulary and grammar. Okay. Listen to Dan's story, answer the questions. Okay, I want you to close your books right now. No books. Just pay attention to the audio. But you need to write. You need to get the questions first. You have 4 questions and you need to write. You need to take notes. Let's see what you understand without seeing the book. No book, but check the questions. Get the questions in your notebook. Okay, from 1 to 4. Do you have it?
Yes.
Tell me when you're ready. Do you understand the instructions? Who did? Who did?
Yes.
Yes, do you understand the instructions, right?
Okay.
Yes, everybody?
Yes, teacher.
You
I'm
have
ready.
you have 4 questions and you're going to hear the audio about this, about Dan's story. Take notes about the answers of these questions. Of course, the answers are here, but I want you to see if you listened, if you pay attention and if you understand. Capish? Okie dokie. No books, remember?
Page
Okay.
4, Lesson B. It's a long story. 1. Building vocabulary and grammar. A. Listen to Dan's story. Answer the questions.
Living abroad. Dan's story.
Okay, no books. No books, no libros. Okay. Could it? Okay.
Dan Anderson was born in the USA. He's now living in South Korea. We asked him, how did you end up living in Seoul?
Well, it's a long story. Before I came here, I spent 3 years working for a small company in Tokyo while I finished doing my master's in business. To be honest, I wasn't planning on leaving or anything. But one day, I happened to be in the office, and one of the salespeople was looking at job ads online. He knew I was considering going to South Korea someday. You see, my mother's South Korean, and I've always been interested in the culture and everything. And anyway, he leaned over and said, Dan, this seems to be the perfect job for you. Check this out. I looked at the ad, and I remember thinking, should I bother to apply? But I decided to go for it, even though I didn't expect to get it. And to make a long story short, I got the job. The company offered to transfer me to Seoul, and they agreed to pay for my Korean language lessons. I started working here 2 months later, and the rest is history. I mean, I miss living in Japan, but you can't have it both ways, I guess. Actually, I can't imagine living anywhere else now.
All right. One more time so you can check your answers. Remember, you have recorded 4
Page
questions.
4, Lesson B. It's a long story. 1. Building vocabulary and grammar. A. Listen to Dan's story. Answer the questions.
Living abroad. Dan's story. Dan Anderson was born in the USA. He's now living in South Korea. We asked him, how did you end up living in Seoul?
Well, it's a long story. Before I came here, I spent 3 years working for a small company in Tokyo while I finished doing my master's in business. To be honest, I wasn't planning on leaving or anything. But one day, I happened to be in the office, and one of the salespeople was looking at job ads online. He knew I was considering going to South Korea someday. You see, my mother's South Korean, and I've always been interested in the culture and everything. And anyway, he leaned over and said, Dan, this seems to be the perfect job for you. Check this out. I looked at the ad, and I remember thinking, should I bother to apply? But I decided to go for it, even though I didn't expect to get it. And to make a long story short, I got the job. The company offered to transfer me to Seoul, and they agreed to pay for my Korean language lessons. I started working here 2 months later, and the rest is history. I mean, I miss living in Japan, but you can't have it both ways, I guess. Actually, I can't imagine living anywhere else now.
Awesome. Let's see what you have. Well, first, is you notice on the reading, in the story?
One more time, please.
Pay attention to those hold on. Please pay attention to those when you have two verbs, like I finished doing my master, I wasn't planning, I happen to be, etc. When they use two verbs. Okay? One more time. All right, you have the questions there. And I play the audio one more time.
Page 4. Lesson B. It's a long story. 1. Building vocabulary and grammar. A. Listen to Dan's story. Answer the questions.
Living abroad. Dan's story. Dan Anderson was born in the USA. He's now living in South Korea. We asked him, how did you end up living in Seoul?
Well, it's a long story. Before I came here, I spent 3 years working for a small company in Tokyo while I finished doing my master's in business. To be honest, I wasn't planning on leaving or anything. But one day, I happened to be in the office, and one of the salespeople was looking at job ads online. He knew I was considering going to South Korea someday. You see, my mother's South Korean, and I've always been interested in the culture and everything. And anyway, he leaned over and said, Dan, this seems to be the perfect job for you. Check this out. I looked at the ad, and I remember thinking, should I bother to apply? But I decided to go for it, even though I didn't expect to get it. And to make a long story short, I got the job. The company offered to transfer me to Seoul, and they agreed to pay for my Korean language lessons. I started working here 2 months later, and the rest is history. I mean, I miss living in Japan, but you can't have it both ways, I guess. Actually, I can't imagine living anywhere else now.
Okay, great. Okay, do you have the answers now or?
So? Yes.
All right. Let's see, where did Dan live before he moved to Seoul?
Tokyo, Japan. He lives in Tokyo. He was working in a company in Tokyo.
Yes.
Tokyo.
He was
United States.
working in a company.
In United States.
But where did he live before he moved to Seoul?
South Korea.
He lived in
Korea?
Well, Korea, Seoul is South Korea, right?
South Korea, yes.
It's the same.
Seoul is the capital of
He
South.
lives in Tokyo,
Okay.
in Japan.
Okay, do you agree with Rosie?
He was working in a company there. When he was studying his business career.
Listen again, we're going to listen again, so we make sure that's the right answer.
Page 4. Lesson B. It's a long story. 1. Building vocabulary and grammar. A. Listen to Dan's story. Answer the questions.
Living abroad. Dan's story. Dan Anderson was born in the USA. He's now living in South Korea. We asked him, how did you end up living in Seoul?
Well, it's a long story. Before I came here, I spent 3 years working for a small company in Tokyo while I finished.
Yes, that's the right answer.
Tokyo.
Tokyo, yes. He was living in Tokyo, right?
Tokyo.
Eh.
He was living in Tokyo.
He lived in the Tokyo for 3 years.
He was living in Tokyo.
For
Just
3 years
remember,
or 3 years ago?
just go to the question, to the answer. Where? You have to where. No extra information. Number 2, why did he want to go to South Korea?
For cultural and anything.
His mother's in Korea.
Yeah,
Dan's mom is from South Korea.
Yes.
Dan's mom is from
His
South Korea.
mom born in Korea. Was born in Korea.
Patty, what's your answer?
And his mom is from South Korea, and the culture is interesting.
Yeah, South
Korea.
South, STA sound, South Korea.
South Korea. Teacher, you can down the screen.
Master's in business.
Yes, 1 second.
To be honest, I wasn't planning on leaving or anything. But one day, I happened to be in the office, and one of the salespeople was looking at job ads online. He knew I was considering going to South Korea someday. You see, my mother's South Korean, and I've always been interested in the culture and everything. And anyway,
Yes, correct. His mom is South Korean, and he was interested in the culture. Okay, Patty, first you need to answer the questions, then you have the script. That's the reading. You're going to read it. So what I want you to do is just the questions for now, and then we check the script or the reading. Yes? Hold on, please. Okay, next question is how did he get his job there? How did he get his job there?
Me. Someone in his office was looking for a job online in South Korea and asked him if he wants to go and work one day there in South Korea.
And he asked him if he wanted, remember?
He wanted.
Yes. What do you think, guys? Karina, Patty, Judith, who did?
A partner said it could be perfect for you.
For him, yes. Who did? What do you think?
Is the question number 3 or 4?
3.
Sorry.
Use jobs in the ADs line, online.
Online?
ADS online.
All right. Okay, we're gonna see that. Let's see, Luis, what answer do you have? How did he get his job there? What's your answer?
I don't know. Teacher.
Say it again, please.
I don't know. Teacher.
All right. Arturo? right, let's continue with number 4, please. What did his new company offer him? Okay, ideas, please.
Transfer to South Korea and pay his career language lesson.
His new company. What did his new company? Remember, he was living in Tokyo, right? He was working for a company in Tokyo. So his new company is in South Korea.
They pay.
What did they offer?
They pay transfer to South Korea
Okay.
and pay his career language lesson.
Okay, what else? Any more ideas? Gabriel, you're quiet.
They agreed to pay.
They agreed to pay what? Who did to pay what? You need to finish the sentence. They agreed to pay.
Agreed to pay him.
To pay what?
They agreed to pay.
Yes, they agreed to pay.
Of money.
Money? Okay.
A lot of money.
A lot of money. Okay, they agreed to pay a lot of money to him. Millions of dollars. Okay.
$.
Let's see. You have the story here. You can check the answers here. And you know, you have to pay attention to the use of verbs together, like I spent 3 years working. With some verbs, remember, with some verbs, you use ing or you use to, but you have to use one of them, to or ing. That's what I told you at the beginning. We have spent, right? That's the first one.
Well, I finish.
I finished doing. So let's see. I'm gonna write here ing verbs. Finish. You learn these verbs by memory. You need to learn them by heart. By heart means by memory, right? Finish. Oh. Finish. What's the second verb?
Planning.
Planning on.
Planning on.
Plan on. It goes together. Plan on.
Plan on.
Always together. I wasn't planning on, so this is negative present continuous, right? I wasn't planning on leaving or anything. What's the next verb?
Happened.
Happen.
Not happen it. I happened to be in the office. Happened. All right, guys. I need to hear from you, Julio, Arturo, Luis. Make some noise.
Consider.
Second verb.
Was considering.
Consider.
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 Consider. Remember, we are working with the ing. So you need to use an ing with the second verb, right? Next one.
Since.
ing.
Ah,
Do we have more?
eh,
Yes. Yes. Take a
one.
look. Okay, the others. I hear only Judith talking.
Talking, understand.
You are quiet. Patti, Areli,
Planning,
Karina,
planning,
Julio.
considering.
No, veo,
Just
talking.
one by one, one by one. I have the first one is remember, right?
Remember.
Remember. What's the next one? ing.
Bother.
Teacher, what it means bother?
Bother.
Bother.
Bother. It's kind of annoying. When something you don't like, should I bother to apply? Something that is uncomfortable. Molestar. Should I bother to apply?
Okay.
All right. Next one. ing.
ING.
Something very, very common. You see it there.
The
Okay, guys. I want to hear from
didn't expect it.
Julio, Luis.
I didn't expect it. No. Con paragraph. Okay.
No.
No.
Remember, we are looking for the ing. I mean, the verbs are these
yeah.
two verbs. When they have two verbs and
Working. I started working here
yes,
2 months later.
start. That's another verb, and it's very common.
Start.
I want to start working on my new project. Can you start answering me, etc. This is very common. Start, and then the ing of the next verb. What's the next verb?
Miss
Miss.
living.
Yes, miss living.
Miss living.
Miss living. Next verb.
Imagine.
Imagine living anywhere else now.
Yes. Imagine. All right. Those are the ing verbs. The rest verbs are with to, right? With the preposition to. That's the normal. But after these verbs, like spend working, you have to use ing. In some cases, you can use both to or ing, but the meaning changes. For example, I don't know if you know this, stop. A sentence with a stop. I stop
Stopping.
to talk to you. Let me see if you know the difference. Well, let's do it in past tense. What's the difference? Anybody knows the difference?
The verb talk. I mean,
Well, one is with to talk, the other one is talking, of course, you can see that.
yes.
But the meaning,
the second one continue happening? Continue.
No.
It's about the time or something like
No mouse, the continue talking. The second sentence.
Yeah, who did has the idea? I have stopped talking to you. It means we don't talk anymore, right?
Mhm.
Like with those friends that you don't talk anymore, you stop talking. I stopped talking to my friend years ago.
He paused this
I stopped to
conversation.
talk to you is because you are walking, you're in the street, and you stop to talk to you. Oh, right? I saw you and I stopped to talk to you. Got it?
Mhm.
I stopped. I was walking in the park and I saw you and I stopped to talk to you and have a conversation. The other one is I stopped talking to you. We don't talk anymore. Yes? You have it?
Yes.
All right. Remember, some verbs are very different. Like,
Ese Nacho.
hello,
Hello, teacher.
you there? Sorry, I was disconnected from this application. Hold on, please. It usually happens when I am about to finish a 4-hour class with Zoom. So let's continue, please. So we were talking about those verbs. I hope you took notes. I was talking. I was saying. Can you see my book?
Yes.
All right. So we have a few more minutes left. We have more verbs like smoke or to smoke, to stop, etc. Let me see if I can find here. Yes. Do you remember I tell you at the beginning this? The corpus information, verb plus ing and to plus verb. In conversations, begin, bother, continue, like, love, etc. Start is always followed more often by verb plus ing. But you can say I start to study, but it's not very common. It's more common to say I start studying. Or I started studying 5 minutes ago.
Start to study.
After begin and continue, the form to plus verb is about 4 times more frequent. I begin to think, right? I start thinking, it's the same. And continue. Continue to do your job. Now continue doing your job. So those are the verbs. You see the list? You have more verbs here. Some of them you can use to or ing. Like finish, we talk about finish, right? I finished running my marathon. I finished doing my homework. Give up. Don't give up studying. So you have many verbs: avoid, enjoy. Those are ing, like neutral. You can use to, you can use, well, this one, like when you have prepositions like this one, keep on, you have to use the ing, right? Keep on working. Feel like, it's also ing. Consider is ing. I can stand. I can stand. I can stand sleeping too much time. I hope you know this verb. Can stand is a phrasal verb or is a slang. Put off. So with these verbs, you need ing. Then we have more grammar here. What we are talking about right now. I finished doing my master's in business. I spent 3 years working in Tokyo. How do you end up living here? I wasn't planning on leaving Japan. They agreed to pay for Korean lessons. I didn't expect to get the job. Should I bother applying? Should I bother to apply? You can use either one. I will send this, well, you have it on the book. This is a grammar chart. You have it on the book. And you have to make some sentences with these verbs. Like the one I told you before, I stopped talking to him. We don't talk now. I stopped to talk to him. I stopped working, right? Easy. Easy peasy. So what is that? That's the lesson. What is the lesson about? When you use two verbs, you need to separate the verb. You need to separate the verb by the preposition to or ing. If that's a common mistake when you don't use anything. So it's important you know this rule. Okay, you have a chart here. And you have to separate or to organize the verbs. Verb to verb, verb plus to plus verb. They go here.
Maestra, ¿lo puede hacer más grande?
Yes.
Gracias, gracias.
All right. So you need to organize the verbs here. In this part should be verb plus to plus verb. Verb plus verb, ing. What I just did. Verb plus particle, preposition plus verb plus ing. Preposition means like this one, like end up living. You have some here. So that's what you have to do for homework. You don't have to do it now, but please do it. We have 10 minutes and we have to finish this exercise. Just remember, do not forget to separate or to organize the verbs like this. Okay, complete the sentences with the correct forms of the verbs given. Use dance story to help you. You have sentences from one. Hold on. Okay, you have 1 and 2. Number 1, what do you think? I consider electronics, but I ended up math. What do you think?
Studying electronics.
I consider studying electronics.
Yes.
But I ended up. I ended up
doing math.
Doing math. I consider. Is this correct or not?
No. I
No?
don't know.
Not correct.
No,
What is
because
missing?
the first is in past, no? The first word I consider it.
It doesn't matter if it's past.
Uh-huh.
I am talking about the spelling of studying. It doesn't matter, Karina, if it's a verb, the first verb is in past tense or present perfect.
I consider to study.
Yeah, it's just, I consider studying.
Study.
I ended up doing.
Doing,
Doing. I expect.
Graduate me.
No.
Graduate.
Who graduate?
To graduate.
Graduate.
Okay, let me see. In 3 years. Don't answer, please. I'm gonna ask you someone.
To change.
No, do not answer, please. I'm gonna ask someone.
To change.
Who did? All right. Arturo, are you there? Hello? Arturo?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. What would you do in this one, the last one? Then I decided. I decided.
I decided changed my major.
I decided change.
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 Just like that, change. Like this.
No, with 1D. Changed.
What do you mean with 1D? Like this?
Yep.
You think that's correct? Two verbs in past tense, two verbs together with no separation. That's what I mentioned at the beginning. You need something to separate two verbs. You need to, or you need ing of the second verb. What do you need here? Then I decided
To this, I decided to change.
to change, yes. Remember, you need something when you are using two verbs. To change. Good. But don't forget that part. You need to or ing, either one. And remember, if the first verb is in past tense, doesn't have to do anything with the second verb. Still this in this past tense or any other tense. Yes? Clear or not clear?
Clear.
Questions? This topic, that when you use two verbs in the same sentence and when the two verbs are together, it's kind of, it takes time to practice them. You know them, you know these verbs because you practice, or you know, try to read specifically some verbs, not all of them. Like learn, like say, like enjoy, I enjoy having my family with me. Enjoy, after enjoy, you use ing all the time. I enjoy talking to you. Disfruto hablar contigo. I enjoy going to the movies. Like that. So, algunos verbos, some verbs are like, you use it a lot, you use them a lot of time or many times, and it's like, okay, you know what to use. It's like listening. So no more questions. And then you have here we're going to finish. We have 2 more minutes. The grammar chart I showed you before. Please check at home this chart. I know it's a lot of information with verb plus ing. It's a lot, but it's better to read the examples, right? And you can see that you have verbs in many different tenses, like past tense, simple continue, etc. So that's very important. You understand this. Verbs complements, verb complements, verb plus ing, or to plus verb. So we will continue next class, but please try to read the chart. If you have any questions, we can find an answer next class, as well as you practice the exercises. Remember,
Teacher, what is the homework in the student book you told about homework for page 4?
Remember, we haven't finished this lesson. Lesson B, we haven't finished it. So I need you to, for homework. I need you to organize verbs like this on the book.
Okay, vale.
That's the first one. Second one, I need you to read the grammar chart and understand.
The page 5.
Yes. And then this exercise. Remember, the best way to learn something is you practice. You practice and practice. It's the same with the workbook, but do it on the student's book. And we will continue next class. Okay?
Okie dokie.
Questions, answers,
No.
requests, opinions.
What is our homework in workbook?
I just mentioned homework is, well, we finished lesson A, right?
Yes.
We finished lesson A, that's from the workbook. And lesson B is from the student's book, the exercises and the grammar.
Yes.
Oh, now, if you want to work from the workbook, it's optional. So as much as you practice, is better for you.
Okay, teacher. Thank
All right,
you.
questions?
Okay, teacher.
Luis, Arturo, Julio?
No, teacher, thank you.
No?
No, teacher.
Rosicela? All right.
Yes, teacher.
Questions? No questions?
No.
Okie dokie. So thank you so much for your time. See you guys next class. All right, we will prepare some games. It's like the last time, Kahoot. Remember Kahoot? So that's fun. We are going to have a competition. So see who's the winner this time. Who's the Trump? Patty. Patty was the winner last time. So let's keep working. Let's keep working hard. All right.
I never used Kahoot before.
Yes, I am going to explain it to you next week. It's easy.
Okay.
It's
Thank
easy,
you,
very
teacher.
easy. All right. See you
Okay,
next time.
teacher.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful
Teacher.
weekend.
See you.
Thank you.
Have a
See
nice
you.
weekend. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
weekend.
You too. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.